Hey, RJ.
Hello.
Sorry, moving away.
Withdrawing was failing on all milestones.
Are you guys not talking, or I don't hear you?
I'm not talking.
Ah, I need to change my network. Okay. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Okay. Just came back from a camping trip kind of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, with the kids. So, it's really warm here. You're back home, huh?
Till tomorrow morning.
What?
Said until tomorrow morning.
And then, where are you going?
I go to Bali
Oh.
for 9 days or something.
That's not bad.
No.
That's
There's worse places to go.
So you're going to be offline?
No. Well, maybe less, but I'm going there for work, but for another thing.
You go for work? For
Yeah.
it. Or another, or saving the rainforest.
Yeah, saving the coral reefs.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, it's for like not really saving the coral. It's for like we have software like what I was doing before or whatever is like a tracking software for like biological samples.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Hi, Wojtek.
Hey, Satya.
Where are you?
Antwerp.
I want to say hi and hey, RJ.
Hey.
Hey, Satya.
Hey.
Goedendag, Satya.
Oh, you're in
And hi, RJ. How are you?
Hey, Flurkle.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
You're in Belgium already. We don't hear you, Wojtek.
These Storm City people have bad internet.
Yeah. Wojtek, we don't hear you. I was also trying to find the meeting notes.
I think they're in Riot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Wojtek, we don't hear you. Maybe it's me.
No, I don't hear him.
I also don't have the best. Hey, Griff.
Hey,
How's the leg?
it's not too bad. I don't. You know, just like.
Oh, fuck. Oh, nice sticker.
Yeah, there we go.
Man, that sucks.
You know, it's not so. It could be worse.
Yeah.
I get to feel like what handicapped people feel, you know, at least, and it's only for 6 weeks.
Yeah. So right through the burn, huh?
Yeah, I know. Well, hopefully by the burn I'll be able to walk on it. This is the dream.
So do you have like these sticks to go
Yeah.
around?
Oh, dude, but the worst is I actually hurt my hand playing basketball like 3 weeks ago, so I can't use the normal hand ones. I have to use the old school armpit ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, the joys of
Falling
life.
apart.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking old. Old man. Oh well. But DApp team, what are we talking about? I was mostly gonna listen. But...
We're waiting for Wojtek to clear his throat, but because we still can.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So let's start then. How about we skip the first part and we dive straight to a testing and release, because that seems to be the biggest question now. So I've been trying to make people test the DApp. No one's really doing that. So I've tested every single scenario myself. I only have issues with collecting the money, and I have some type issues with creating milestones with itemized, with the expenses. So there's some conversion issue because it uses double instead of strings. So I can look into that.
That's strange.
The collection thing, does the transaction get sent? Yeah, the transaction must get sent if you're getting that air and feathers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it sends the transaction the first time, and then the button just stays there. So feathers does the error, right? And the button just stays there, and each time I try ever since, it just says, yeah, some random error.
Okay, it's interesting why it didn't process that transaction. Okay, well, the feathers things is just need to update, like whitelist essentially, of what can be updated on a milestone.
Okay.
It'll take 5 seconds to fix.
Okay. Can you fix that? I know where it is roughly, but it's probably faster for you.
Yeah, I'll fix it right now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I think we're good to go. We're good to release. Like everything works. Let's just say that.
Okay. Well, if there's any bugs and people can't get paid, we can just say, well, you didn't help test, so you'll have to wait.
That's my approach. That's my approach. Yeah.
I have issues locally. Why do we use NodeMon now?
Because I got rid of Babel. Because there was no need to transpile Node code, like stuff that we're running on Node.
I'm constantly running out of memory, and then it crashes.
With NodeMon?
Yeah, and it's like my laptop almost died because of CPU and fans overheating and.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. So
interesting. Well, we could change it to another like watcher thing. Basically, I got rid of Babel, so we didn't need the Babel watch anymore. But we could use whatever.
Is this an actual problem for everyone who uses the DApp? Because when I have the DApp open, man, my laptop is flying.
No, this really locally.
Okay,
maybe it's just me, but I started from scratch, and I still have that it crashes with out of memory errors. So
that's interesting, because what I wanted to say, if you haven't started from scratch, there could be some like data that it tries to process.
Well, started from scratch as in npm install and removed and dropped the whole database. I didn't do anything else.
Okay, and have you removed also the data, like the chain data?
We still have
So
that?
the data folder? Yeah, we still have that.
Okay.
It should
So I
be,
think that-
if you do you use that script to remove the data?
No, I haven't. I just played around.
Okay, or like when you drop a database, you don't do, or you don't run like npm deploy local.
No, I didn't do that.
Okay.
Okay, I will do that.
But that's interesting because I've reprocessed the whole entire like current data, all of the traces or all the transactions using this nodemon, and so that's like fairly intensive, and it ran for 40 minutes or 30 minutes, and I never had any memory or any issue like that.
But you're on a Dell.
No, I'm on a MacBook Air with 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Okay.
I'm on a slow MacBook right now.
Okay, I will just try again and start from scratch completely and see
Okay.
how that goes.
And also, if Node, like, what I mean, nodemon is just a file watcher that restarts
Yes.
others. So we can use whatever if something else works better.
Okay. Well, if it works for you, it should work for me. So.
Right.
Yeah, and I made 2 other people try and it worked for them, so
Okay.
it should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that's the release part. So let's go for status. Show authorized payment. That's what I have here, RJ. I guess no progress, right?
Yeah, no progress.
Upgrade conversations to attach proof.
Yeah, that's in the release.
That's done.
But
Release.
before we release, we have to actually disable that you have to file proof when marking a milestone as complete.
That's interesting because I've just done that and it worked.
Oh, so maybe I disabled it already.
Yeah, like 10 minutes ago, I've tried it and it worked.
Okay, yeah, maybe I did it because I thought it wasn't a good idea to enforce it.
Okay. I only have one question, and that is the proof attaching. Why did you choose it to be itemized and be like expenses? Why do you need to also provide like a conversion rate and all this stuff?
Because isn't that what's going to happen later on? I mean, let's say I'm going to hire an architect, and then I first like say I need I don't know 100 ETH for the architect, and afterwards I get like the bill to prove.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah. Okay. And I guess things that actually don't hold any value. So if you want to attach a proof, which is like, I don't know, a photo of you finishing something.
Yeah, you can put it in
then you can just put it in the body, right?
Yeah, you can put movies, pictures, links. It's like, yeah, whatever you want.
Okay.
It all works.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Next one is implement analytics and session recording.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out who owns I think Kai, but I cannot reach him. That he owns the Google Analytics of Give.io.
I have access to that, I think.
You have? Okay, cool. Because yeah, I want to implement that in the DApp, but also on our website, so that we know what.
So our website already has it.
It has?
That one I know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Can you invite me? I will send you my email, my Google Analytics email.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, cool. So then I can start doing that. Yeah. I was planning to finish that this week. I mean, I just want to track some events, like made a donation, you know, what kind of things people. It's not like the page views, but also the events. Session recording, yeah. So we will have Hotjar, which basically does session recording. I think we get like 100 sessions per month for free. I'm not sure actually what is a free plan currently, but then we can see how people navigate through the DApp and yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I read that. Perfect.
It's pretty cool. You can also get passwords of people.
Hopefully not.
They have a keylogger, I think, but they don't provide passwords.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next one is donation aggregation. So that's me. I tried to plug it into the latest feathers. Yeah, it worked, but there was some feathers. No, some contract issues with the pledges encoding. So it couldn't. Yeah, it just couldn't really encode. It didn't recognize the encoded pledges somehow. I didn't want it to disturb you to work on that, so let's just move it to the next release.
What should this feature do?
So this feature is on milestone and a campaign.
Yeah.
And what you can do is you can click, there's a delegate button.
Yes.
And you delegate, you click on the delegate and you choose from which entity you're delegating the donations. So campaign or DAC, and you just select how much. So instead of going to my delegations and doing it one by one, you can just go to the campaign or the milestone and you can just say, hey, I want to delegate here X amount from this campaign.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you're not a campaign manager, so you can't appreciate how needed this function is.
Okay.
All right. Xavi's next with some UI stuff. We've been talking lately. Oh, Xavi's here.
Hi, man. Hi.
How are you?
Okay. So do you want to give us a status on your work, Xavi?
Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Well, I've tried to dedicate 2 days to give it. That's a try. So the first 2 times, the third week, I just been kind of setting up, trying to understand, as well as today. It's not that I haven't like made any progress at all. Just been bugging Wojtek. So, and getting to know the code and the functioning of the DApp.
Okay, and you're working on the collect button, right? To disappear once you actually create the transaction.
I'm trying to get to the scenario where I test.
Okay.
Probably this week, because what has happened is like I spent a couple days and then for the next 4 days, and the next time I have to pull and everything stops working. So I have to just like understanding everything again and figuring out, because things have changed and I forgot. So I'll try this week to put, maybe the next couple days. So just to get like a more consolidated understanding and more like a stable setup, and hopefully that will allow for the following weeks to come to not spend most of the time just setting up stuff.
Yeah, mind you, there were radical changes this past week, so that's why it's more difficult. We added the MetaMask, we rewritten the feathers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next one is roles management. That's there's no progress on that. The last one is feathers rewrite by RJ. So that's something that RJ has finished. Do you want to say something more about it, RJ?
No, it's mostly there. It looks like the queue gets stuck sometimes. I'm not sure why. That's why, like, so your things actually processed, but they're just in the queue that hasn't been finished or like cleared. So I'll look into that today. My guess, maybe because of it, when an error is thrown, it's not running the queue. The rest, I think that might be it. So like, if that error that said can't update status or whatever, I think that stopped the queue. So I need to catch that. But yeah, other than that, it should be mostly done. There's one other like thing I want to implement this week or next week or sometime soon. Basically, like right now, the way it's written, if we restart, the like queue is lost. But I want to basically make events. Right now, events only have like, it's like a Boolean state. It's either they're processed or unprocessed, and we mark them as processed as we put them in the queue. But I want to have 3 stages, so unprocessed, processing, and processed. And then we mark it as processing when it goes in the queue, and then processed once we finish that event. And so then if we restart, we just reprocess anything that's unprocessed or is currently processing. And then we won't have this weird issue where events can get lost, I guess, if you restart feathers. But other than that, it's a lot, I think, better design right now. The one disadvantage is everything has to be processed synchronously, and it's fairly slow. I think there's some low-hanging fruit that we can get eventually, but as we get further along and somebody wants to resync from scratch, it would take a while. Right now, it took like 30 minutes on my computer, which admittedly isn't a fast computer, but and if you have a local node that you're hitting, it should be a lot faster. But that's just not an immediate issue or concern, but something we'll probably need to address at some point.
Okay.
You're muted, Wojtek, if you're trying to talk.
Okay, thanks. What's the remedy for the queue unstucking? So if that happens on beta, what can we do to quickly?
It should be just restarting. Well, as of right now, you have to, anything that's, any event that hasn't been processed, we have to mark it as unprocessed and then restart feathers. But I'll see if I can implement that like 3-stage processing real quick. It should be simple. And then it would essentially just be restarting feathers.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Wojtek.
I think his headphones are failing him.
Yeah.
All right. Wojtek, we don't hear you. Wojtek, say something. No.
Guys, I have to go. They're waiting for me for dinner next week.
Okay, man.
But
Bye bye.
Okay. Shall we continue without Wojtek?
I guess so.
POA.
POA network bridge. I guess status on that is Parody got jealous when we told them that we were going to work with or have POA do a bridge or something. So trying to get them to do it together, or yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really trust that Parody is going to actually finish it in a reasonable time, but who knows? And it's kind of waiting on me to write a spec for both of them.
Okay.
But hopefully I can get that done soon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can say something on that. Roman has no interest in working in Rust, and they have no interest in working in Node.js. So it's clear that there's going to be two setups, and I think we're just going to play both sides, give them both the spec, and see who wins. I actually have more faith in Parody, personally.
Really?
Well, at least in the long run. In the short run, maybe, yeah, Roman can make it happen. But, like, Parody has a whole team. Roman's just one guy, you know?
Yeah, but
Isn't
yeah.
Parity like dedicated to Polkadot right now?
Yeah, but they need this for Polkadot. That's the thing.
Right.
Okay.
And they're not going to use Node.js on their Polkadot.
But then, you know, they started developing this for Polkadot, and then they're like, hey guys, you should wait till Polkadot is there. Do you have tokens?
Yeah, that's why I think like it's not a priority for them right now because Polkadot's
Exactly.
not at the point where they need the bridge.
They have like a 200 million other priority.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm really curious to see what Max put out in that last PR. He says he should have it done any day, and to see how close that bridge is to actually complete.
that PR was started back in April, and it's just been like added to like slowly, and there's nothing regarding like the arbitrary message. Basically, to me, it looks like just a bunch of rewrite of their Rust code, but nothing as far as the contracts haven't been touched in there. But we'll see.
Parity does Rust.
Yeah.
And the other guy, so I prefer Node because, you know, for open source, it's kind of more widespread.
That's all.
Because who knows Rust?
Wojtek, do you have an opinion on this?
It's still muted.
Yeah.
Jeez, these Swarm City guys, man, on the internet.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Well, I heard very little. I just heard that Parity and Polkadot are better options than POA network, or is it the same thing?
Well, really, the question is, do you care if it's in Rust or Node.js?
I leave this completely up to RJ.
Okay, cool. It's Oracle.
Hey, Griffey.
Hey, Zardes.
Hey.
Okay, cool.
All right. I think that was all of the current updates.
Yeah. So I have one more, which I think should be priority because we don't. It seems like we can't really depend on external testing. So I would love to push some internal integration tests forward. But I'm going to need a help. I can take a lead on that, but I'm going to need a help. What do you guys think? Is it worth, or do you think that it's better if we do it manually?
What's the strategy, I guess, for like this test? Like, how would you do it? Would you be calling like would you use like Selenium to call like the UI or something?
I would just use the services from the UI part.
Okay. So basically we would need to refactor everything out into services. Like all the milestones need to be refactored into service. And then, okay, then we can use it at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, because even if there's a visual issue, then it's just a visual issue, right? But like that, we at least test that the services are fine.
Right. No, I think that's a good way to do it. It's just, yeah, we just have to do, like right now we can't do it with milestones have to be pulled out into service first. But once we do that, I think, yeah, just doing some end-to-end tests would be great.
Yeah, and the services also need to be changed, even the existing ones, because many of them include JSX files, which causes a whole bunch of issues.
Right. Oh, importing JSX. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, yeah, this services would be like a middleware kind of middle layer situation. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just talking out loud, thinking out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I support it.
Okay. Perfect.
I do think that we can
And
have a stronger push for external contributors on testing. I think if people knew that they got paid to test and it was in contributors channel and there was just more noise about it, I think people would do it. I don't think givethers will, but people from outside.
that's a little bit of a problem, because if you ask outsiders to do it, they don't know, they don't understand the DApp, meaning they can't really easily judge whether something is a bug or whether we're doing it wrongly, and it actually creates a lot of overhead for me, to the extent where it's almost not worth doing.
I see. I see. Okay. Is it possible?
Yeah.
I mean, is it possible to have one person assigned to this role?
Yeah.
I think we could. I think we could probably make a role for that and give someone some like reward for doing it.
You need like a professional tester, basically.
Exactly.
It is really a skill that you need to have, testing.
Well, what about Bowen? He's like a little bit of dev, and he was doing pretty well at testing, right?
I don't think so, just because it's not like, maybe once the framework is all set up, but currently it's not like a simple task to just start writing tests. Like,
oh, not writing tests. I thought we were talking about external tests.
No, this is like an automated test suite that we can just run.
Yeah.
But I got you, Griff. I understood what you meant.
Yeah.
No, and Bowen being the one who's leading that, I can imagine it. Yeah, but I want to anyways talk to him about the bridge, because I was under the impression that he will be also the one who's this.
I'm losing you. Is it just me?
Yeah, I'm losing you. Turn off your video. Wojtek.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay. So I want to talk to Bowen anyways, because I was under the impression that for the bridge he's going to be the one who's going to disburse the payments. Right now it seems like he's just letting every payment to pass the 2 days period, and then someone needs to call it. Was it me, or is there like a misunderstanding?
Can it go faster than 2 days? Is that possible, RJ?
No, but there after 2 days you have to collect it, or somebody has to call a function to like to push the payments out. And nobody, well, I did it once, but nobody else is doing it right now. So yeah, I think we should just talk to him, Bowen, and just have that as part of his role.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to set it up on a script really, because then that script is going to run and it's like 100 gigawatt gas or something stupid. So like, if it's a human, I think it's a little better at this point. They can like, oh wait, maybe if I wait 4 hours, the gas price will come down or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should definitely just talk to him and have him do that. It's pretty simple.
Okay, because I've been also running it lately, and there's a lot of people just asking, for the payment.
Right.
And it wasn't clear.
Well, tell them they should figure out Easter egg. Figure out how to call that function.
The money's yours. You just got to figure out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Learn how to collect it.
I mean, it's not that hard. At least just for me. I could do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea, for sure.
Okay, I'll talk to him. Cool. And maybe one last thing following Satya's proposal: integration of token, integration of DAI, which is, I guess, the last feature we need to add. But it's a big one, right? Because a lot of stuff will have to change in the DApp. Do we want to do it now? Do we want to do it in the next month, or do we pause it for the time being?
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of UI changes that would need to happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any harm in starting to work on it.
Okay. Can it be done by contributor, or does it need to be done by one of us?
I think it could be done by a contributor, as long as like just the challenges are regarding like how to display things in the UI. Well, maybe it's not that big of a deal. It could probably be done by a contributor, yeah.
Okay. Does anyone want to take it, or do we try and push it for contributors?
No, I want to take it, definitely.
You want to take it? Okay.
Yeah. We should. Yeah, I think we should have to think about the flow first, and then update the UI.
Yeah.
I think it would actually be best if we do that.
So, can I give this to you, Satya, to be very autonomous about it, and maybe before writing anything, really have some sketches?
Yeah, exactly. That's the plan.
Okay. All right. And I guess that's it for the status part, unless you guys have something.
Yeah, milestone rewrite, Wojtek.
Oh, yes.
Skipping that.
Not on purpose.
It's, suddenly the cursor went down very fast.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of just talked about it as part of testing.
True.
But
okay, I've done something. It doesn't really work well. RJ has created a simple model because he needed it. So I've just discarded part of my changes and just included his model for the time being. So the model is there.
It's just a start. Basically, it just contained like enum type of stuff, right? Like the different statuses.
Okay.
I have some very broken services, which maybe should be, because the feathers did change and the DApp did change
Can I start working on this?
Yes.
I mean, because I really would like to move all this logic out of my milestones and make it generic, so that we can implement all those actions on milestones when you view a milestone. I mean, it is a very strange flow. Now you go to my milestones, and then you have to like review a milestone. So you have to view it, and then you have to go back, and then either accept or reject it. Add your comments. So we should, move this to viewing the milestone actually.
Yes.
Or other places. I mean, you should be able to do those actions from anywhere, and they're really tied to my milestones now. So I would like to pick that up.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Is that it? Or did I skip something else that was important?
No.
Okay, good.
I guess.
I
yes,
guess one thing I would add regarding the like queue getting stuck is if anybody's like notices that their transaction doesn't get mined, that would be super helpful to like know what action you took right before it. I'm gonna add some more logging, but just be aware, or like try and keep an eye out for that. If something's like, oh, why didn't this get mined or updated in the UI, and then we can have a reproducing step or figure out how to reproduce it.
Good.
Okay.
And I don't know that we would apply for this honestly, but there is a stable fund grant. I don't know if they just give grants for people integrating DAI or not, but we could apply. We could apply to it for it to DAI. So I'm gonna at least look into that.
Yeah, if you send the info somewhere publicly.
Yeah, I'll put it in the Riot.
Okay.
I have one more thing. Now that I think about it. So, yeah, I want to move the DApp mailer to from now, because I'm having issues with Deem and other people that want to use the DApp our domain with now, and we don't want to pay for a team. So we need some server and Circle CI or whatever setup, or whatever setup there is, so that I can move it. So I don't know how to get started with this.
The DApp mailer, how many instances do we need? Like, are we using it for production and release and develop, like all those different environments, or just for production?
Just production. Okay.
You might have access to this server. I'll give you access to the server we run the production feathers on, and we can just run it on there.
Okay.
And just then to like set up the Circle CI stuff. Oh, actually, we're not really using any Circle CI for production. We only use it for development. For like production, we're just manually deploying things.
Really? Okay.
But we could change that if we want. It's pretty easy. But maybe for now, we'll start off without Circle CI, and then I'll just, unless you want to figure out how to set it up. But I'll give you access to a server.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then I will move it.
Okay.
Okay, and then we can use a subdomain on the same server, same IP.
Yeah, everything's running. We have Nginx running in front of everything, so.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Yeah, the DApp mailer doesn't do much. It just has a mail queue and sends emails.
Okay.
I mean, parsing templates. But there are not so many emails every day, so.
Well, it doesn't even need to run. We don't even need a domain for the DApp mailer then. If it's running on the same server, we could just use localhost.
Yeah. We could, but we also use it for release and for beta and for all these other.
Okay.
It's just the same thing. It's like one.
Can you unsubscribe from those emails? Like,
Yeah.
is there a way? So does that affect, if I unsubscribe from the release emails, does that affect the production ones?
No. It's not split by environment. It's just for the type of email. So if you unsubscribe from, I don't know, marking milestone as complete emails, then you don't get those emails.
For any environment?
For any environment.
Okay.
Then we have to run multiple servers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's fine for now, but I can see somebody doing it by an accident on release or something and then being like, why don't I get emails anymore?
Yeah. Well, so far it didn't happen, or maybe it did.
Right.
Nobody complained.
While we are on that, is it easy to just add from which environment that email comes from?
Yeah, we could, yeah. But then I need to update the unsubscribe mechanism, which shouldn't be that difficult. But yeah,
I don't even mean it for unsubscribe. I really just mean it for so that when I get an email, I can quickly check whether it's just a developed one and I can just erase it,
like
or whether
as a subject or something.
As a subject or something, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Okay, can you let's put it in this list here.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's running again. It was running actually, but it's sending emails again.
That's good.
I think Griff got a couple in a
Yeah,
row.
got some emails. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 300.
The email is another actual problem. Like if anybody runs Feathers right now, if I sync Feathers locally, it'll send emails for all past events that people have already gotten emails for. So,
yeah.
It's something we'll need to figure out. Like once we make Feathers like DApp notable, essentially.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay.
So, sorry, we already talked about the release, but maybe RJ, once you fix that one issue that we talked about, I kind of forgot what it was. Oh yeah, the collection. Could you go to release? Could you go to beta? Because you're the one who knows also how to update the database. I failed. I'll try.
Yeah.
I've tried, but I failed.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be best if I did it.
Make a backup first.
Yeah, definitely. One issue is I'll be traveling all day tomorrow and probably a lot of the next day. So I guess I could do it, and then hopefully everything works, and you guys are on your own to figure out if it doesn't.
No, let's do Monday.
Or postpone it till.
Yeah, postpone.
I could do a Friday or something.
I think we should postpone until you're in a safe location.
Okay. The problem is, I guess the disadvantage is there's already people who can't withdraw that are waiting on this anyways, this update, that are like, there's stuck milestones that this update should fix. So is it any worse to just try right now?
I would actually say let's try now, because every 2 hours I go in the database, I refresh, I have this query called mind equals true. No, mind equals false. And I go and I change manually all the unmined into that they are mined.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of issues there.
Okay. I can try and do this in a couple hours. Yeah. Should be able to do it maybe sooner, but we'll see.
Then I have one more thing related to this. Did we update DNS of alpha? Alpha? to beta, like a redirect?
I don't know.
No,
we just
we
got rid of
decided
it.
not to do that.
Okay, because we use alpha in a lot of places, like link
Exactly.
to alpha.
Exactly, and the idea was that we identify all those places because the IDs anyways changed.
Right, all the IDs are going to break.
Okay.
So the idea was that rather than showing incorrect content, just show that the link doesn't work.
Okay.
It's up for challenging though, if you don't feel that that's better.
Yeah, I don't know. Just yeah. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
even DApp Note has the wrong link. That's what I noticed.
This is in like a description or something?
Well, it's on their homepage.
Oh.
So
They would anyways have to fix it. The redirect wouldn't work because it uses the wrong ID.
okay. All right. I have to go if there's nothing else.
I have just one thing. So I'm actively searching for an onboarding person.
Oh yeah.
I had an idea for Alex Casa, who would, I think, be very good at that, but he's busy. So I don't think he will be able to do that full time. But I'm writing a full description of that role and full like job description that I'm going to share with you. And we're going to post it on eFluence. I already have also 10 people, 10 potential candidates. So we can then do selection together and do some interviews. How do you feel about that? Yeah?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay.
What the need is to just walk people through the DApp, I guess, basically.
So yes, but to have a technical knowledge as well, to be able to be like a first help.
So like a support team.
But also explain the idea, right? So go with this person and say, this is how you create a campaign. Work with them on creating their own first campaign, formulating the ideas, explain how the milestones should be used, and that it's like a thing that you do in the future, even though we're not using it like that ourselves.
Strategy, basically, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Well, it's also like education and strategy, like how to be a transparent charity.
Yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Yeah.
It's not so much about the tool, I guess. I mean, everybody can press buttons and fill out fields.
Yeah.
Well, and this is another one where I feel like Bowen has some time. So if you need some immediate need, I would lean on him as well.
Okay. Because also Lorelei and Lindsay expressed that they would help us if we need to now.
Yeah. Lorelei and Linz have to take care of a cripple, but Linz will have more time soon.
Okay. In the meantime, I took that role on myself, which will also help me realize what that person will have to do.
Yeah. Cool. I'll keep my ear to the ground as well.
All right. I think Satya will let you go, unless anyone else has something important.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.